The problem with this window regulator is the same problem you have with a lot of the parts on this car and a lot of other old cars, is you basically just can't find them. You can find some original window regulators like on eBay. You're probably going to be paying 200, 250 bucks, and they're going to be a 40-year-old part. So, you know, are they actually going to work any better than the part I'm taking off? I don't know. The part that went bad is the actual motor. I had started looking around online and I found that this window regulator, this is off of a 1996 Mitsubishi Eclipse, looked very similar to this one. The motor is very similar. Now, I bought the entire window regulator, but I just needed the motor off of this. And I've actually already switched it over to this right here. It's on here. But I'm gonna see if I can actually get this to work in the car. So this was the original motor. It wasn't working anymore. As you can tell, I've already switched this motor from that Mitsubishi window regulator over here, and it fit. I was just testing it to see if it would fit, and it does fit. So as you can see, with this motor hooked up, if I touch these to the positive and the negative to this battery here, we get some movement. So in theory, it is working. However, here's the problem. When I bought that Mitsubishi window regulator, you can either buy the passenger side or the driver's side. I don't remember which side I bought. This is off of the driver's side of this car, and I probably bought the driver's side off the Mitsubishi just to try to match it up. But this original motor, you can see the gear is on this side, so it actually would have fit like this. So the motor would have been facing down. Now, I think if you were to get the opposite side of whatever I got, this probably would be facing down and actually would probably be a good fit. So we're going to test that to see if this will still work in the door, if I can make it fit in there. The other problem I'm going to run into is this is not the same connector. So I'm going to cut the connector off this and I'm going to wire it to this. But before I do that, I need to get this into the car, and then I'm going to have to hook up the switch, probably with some leads like I did to the battery, and test which way goes up and down. Once I got it figured out so that the switch is correct, I can actually cut this off. So you might be able to see kind of this bulge on this door panel right here. So that's where that motor went, and you can tell that it goes down. So I hope, fingers crossed, it's not going to be a problem to put that new one in. So I got the regulator in there and it seems to fit. I'm still a little concerned that when I start moving it up and down, so there's going to be the window in there, and then there's also these slides that the window moves slides on. I'm a little nervous that there's going to be some contact or some binding somewhere because of the motor being not where it's supposed to be, but we'll see. What I'm doing to test the wiring on this switch is I got the plug hooked up. I cut it off of that other motor, and I just have these temporary wires. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see in here. So right here is part of this window regulator. Now, if I click up, it's going down. So right now it's actually wired backwards. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to switch these. Now it looks like it's going correct. So it should be pretty easy to hook up. I'll basically just wire this connector to this one here. So I just wanted to bring this in a little closer to show you exactly what I did. I cut off that original connector here off that new motor, wired the connector from the old motor. I'm just gonna plug it in right there, and then we'll test it. It should work. It already worked with the other leads, but we'll give it one more test. Click that in, and you may not be able to see it, but you can probably hear it, and it's going the right direction, so it's working perfectly. Now, the next thing I need to do, I have this window just zip tied up so that it would stay up. So let me undo these zip ties, see if I can connect the window to the regulator and see if it will actually move up and down the way that it's supposed to. So I got this hooked up. There's just 2 screws that hook the regulator to the actual window, and I'm actually pretty optimistic about this. Okay, so the window is hooked up, and at this point I'm not seeing anything that should cause any issues. So let's just give this a try and see what happens. So as you can tell, it's working. That is great news. And honestly, it actually went a lot easier than I was expecting. I was expecting to have some trouble somewhere along the way. One of the best things about it is that window regulator, the whole assembly, the motor and the regulator itself, I think I got it off Rock Auto for like $30. It was for a 1996 Mitsubishi Eclipse. The other reason it's good news is the motor on the window for my passenger side is starting to go really slow, so I think it's on its way out too. And so now I know that I can make an easy fix and get that thing working again. So that's going to be it for this video. I would put this door back together, but my next project is this door handle that broke. If I can get that fixed, I should be able to put this whole assembly back together and should be in pretty good shape as far as the door goes. If you want to see that, just subscribe to my channel and watch for new videos. Thanks for watching.